Gary, is this your toughest day as a South African coach?
I think one of them, absolutely. Yeah, it was tough. I think we got something going at 3 for 55 and had a chance to do something. Thought we went through periods where we bowled quite nicely, but the periods where we didn't bowl nicely, we got a beating. So I think Australian batsmen certainly put us under pressure on a good wicket. And created some momentum and very fast momentum. And sometimes in that situation, it's difficult to pull it back. And I don't think we bowled well enough throughout the day to really put enough pressure on the batsman at any time.
It seemed to all fall apart after Kallis went off, though.
Yeah, it was tough. We lost Vern this morning when I was on my way down the lift to breakfast, and quickly phoned up Rory Kleinveld to say that he probably was going to play, and then obviously losing Jark to a type of injury that he's never had in his career was a tough one. But, that's the beauty about Test match cricket. I think that's the exciting thing. You've got to be able to manage that and move on from that. And I thought Rory Kleinveld actually bowled quite nicely, and certainly for a period of time looked like he was going to get a wicket. I'm looking forward to him getting his first Test match wicket because I think he wants to get over that mark. But, tough day outside of that.
Gary, can you give us an update on the casualty list? What's the status of Kallis?
He's gone for a scan, so we don't really know. We'll just have to wait for that and see what it is. I mean, he is a little bit sore, and I think he made a wise decision as soon as he felt a twinge. He got off the park quickly. Obviously, from a batting perspective, it's going to be important, and these days we don't have runners, so. It's going to be important that he can bat for us as well. So we'll wait and see for that.
Any concern over Dale with his twing?
I think he came back onto the field and felt okay. So it was just went off just to get some treatment, came back on now.
Gary, what sort of impact did your preparation have on this on today? I mean, you went home for a few days. The team went sort of fishing, etc. Were they in the right frame of mind?
Yeah, well, first of all, we had 4 great days of prep leading into this game, but it's always something that'll come up. Often when we're at home for home test series, we send players home and they come back 2 days before and we prepare. There's no exact science to it, but you can always find a way to, to criticise in some department. But, I think we've had a long year and we know we had back-to-back test matches, second and third test coming up. So we didn't feel 4 days off was too much to give to the players. They've put in hard yards for us this year. As I said, we had 2 really big days of training coming into this test match, and then 2 top-up days. Someone like Vernon Philander actually commented it's the most he's bowled in preparation for a test match. So, maybe he bowled too much. That's why he got the injury. But I don't think it's an exact science. It's always difficult. We do the best we can to try and make the decision that we think is best for the team. And sometimes we put in a lot more effort. In our preparation for Brisbane, we set a very strong foundation. We trained really hard. In fact, I commented to the team that's the best I think we've prepared in the time that I've been with the team. But we also like to create times where we give guys off. We're not. We try and make those decisions because we think they're the right decisions. We don't always get it right. But we give it our best shot.
How's Imran Tahir's confidence after the way he was sort of treated, I suppose, by the Australian batsman today?
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's not easy for a guy like that. I think it was a great wicket to bat on, and, he didn't play the last test, so he was hoping to come in and make some sort of performance in the first innings. The test match is not over yet, and he still might be able to, do something. But I don't think it's easy for a guy like that trying to find some form and get something going. As I said, I think it was probably a difficult wicket, first innings wicket for a spinner to bowl on, and especially when you've got someone like Michael Clarke who's gonna pounce. He's in great form and he's going to pounce on anything and try and exploit anything.
Is the game already lost, Gary?
That's a big decision. That's a big question to ask at the end of the first day. Would you like me to answer that?
Yes, I would. Or do you think the best result maybe you can get is a draw?
Well, we're certainly not going to come here tomorrow thinking we're losing. That's for sure.
Gary, there's been, a couple of injuries, and obviously they're for different reasons and in different places. The players have been injured. Like you said, Jacques has never had this type of thing before. What can you put it down to? I mean, is it maybe there's been, like, for example, a lot of T20 cricket before this Test series, maybe the transition, between bowling 4 overs and bowling longer spells? Is there something that you can maybe put
Listen,
it down
I think every team goes through injuries at some point in time. I don't think we're unique to that. I think it can happen. The fact that it happened on one day, I certainly don't have the answers to that. It was unfortunate. Jacques Kallis, I think, has earned the right to prepare the way he needs to prepare. He's been the consummate professional over 20 years of cricket. He's a great performer. The fact that he picks up a niggle for the first time in a hammy that he's never done, we could go into and do a case study on that and say, well, this is what you could have done differently the next time. I guess these things can happen, and we can't necessarily always control them.
Gary, what happened with Philander? And there was a statement that he was having scans. Have you got those results? Or?
Yeah, we haven't yet. We're waiting for those results, and we hope he'll be ready for the next test. I think it'll be important for us. Again, I think the one good thing about the injuries that we had is that we've picked them up early, and someone like Jacques, for example, he picked up that niggle and he got off the field quickly. So hopefully we'll get something positive out of them, but we don't know yet.
Your bowler struggled in Brisbane. You went a day without taking a wicket there, so you would have identified some problems or some things you had to change. Well, yes. What did you change, and why do you think it's still not working?
Well, first of all, I think there's a couple of great players in form on the other side. So you've got to get those guys early, because they can, when they're in form, they can run with that momentum. We did our plans leading into this time, and in fact, I thought we bowled well to Michael Clarke this Test match as well as we did the last one. We certainly tried one or two things we felt that could work. It didn't go our way. But I thought for periods of time we actually bowled well to him and to the other batsmen as well. I guess we would need to go back and have a look at what else we can do. But I think there's very little that you can do in terms of your strategies. We've got a couple of things that we think about and what we can do and try change up. Apart from maybe bowling half full tosses, I don't know. But we'll try different types of strategies: Plan A, Plan B, even to Plan C. If they don't work, you go back to Plan A and start again.
Gary, you seem to have more success today when the bowlers bowled a fuller length. Do you think they should have done that more?
Possibly, yes. Yeah, and I think when we did bowl a fuller length, I thought we were more of a factor. We might have bowled a bit short initially. The ball seemed to carry through nicely, and they left well. I thought, especially up front. I think we maybe, if we look back to it, we would like to, certainly someone like Warner made him play a little bit more. Obviously with Morne Morkel, you can leave a lot of balls. Sometimes it's difficult for a guy who's that tall to get his length a little bit fuller. But, I think Rory, when he got a little bit fuller, especially to Clarke for a period of time, he bowled really well. So, yes, I agree with that.
Both in Brisbane and here, you've had Australia 3 down pretty quickly, and then there's been a very concerted counter-attack the other way. Like, in terms of how the bowlers have responded to that, have you been happy with, I guess, their attitude when those, that counter-attack has taken place?
Yeah, I don't think I could ever fault the attitude of my players, the Proteas. I would never fault the attitude and the intensity which they do things. I know they're giving everything that they've got. Maybe where we're at fault is our thinking, and we try and deal with that as much as we can. And, as I said, I thought at 3 for 55, we went through a period of time where we bowled quite nicely. And we didn't get a wicket. Now, that's not an excuse. You've got to get wickets, and that's how you win games. We would need to go back and have a look at that and say, what is there anything different we could do to make sure we get those wickets? I think we also need to take into account that we're playing against opposition. 2 guys, or certainly 1 guy that's in serious form. And we looked at him closely in our preparation to this test match. You know, and we need to go back and look again and see what we can do.
Gary, how did Vernon's injury occur? Was there any signs yesterday, or was it all just happened?
He got out of bed this morning, and as he got out of bed, he couldn't bend. I don't know if that's happened to any of us. I mean, it's happened to me once before, where you just pick up a spasm in your back. And normally it doesn't last that long. It actually can go away. But obviously we had to make a call. We were sort of hoping that in the time between him picking up the spasm and getting here, it would go away, but it didn't. So, yeah, we couldn't make the call for him to play.